Hey there, it's the Machine of Nonsense, episode 189, and we are talking Severance. Severance season.
Severed Pod.
It's the Severed Pod, yeah. Severance season 2 has just ended, and we're here to talk about it. We're here to pour one out for Miss Wong. We hardly knew me. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Kayla.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Mike's on the pod today.
Hello, guys. Can we afford a choreography and merriment department? Can we do that?
We are the C&M department.
I can handle that. I feel like I can handle that.
Oh, so
I don't know the drum line, but
we'll make it up as we go along. As Kayla mentioned, this will have to be a full spoiler cast for basically every episode of Severance up until now, because we've got to talk about what happened in season 2, what happened in the finale, what happened in season 1, if we can remember, 5 years ago, all of those things.
I really can't believe you just said finale of season 2. Like, really, I cannot believe that's... on one hand, it's like, I feel
Only
like...
season
so
2?
On one hand, I feel like I have so much more than that, or it's been so much longer than that. And then on the other hand, I'm like, it's... How can they go further? I don't know.
Ooh, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut down. I'm not going on a tangent just yet. But wow, season 2, finale, season 2.
Yeah.
That's it. I
think we should probably start with maybe just like a pulse check of like how we're feeling now that, season, I think we all watched it yesterday, probably. It dropped.
Mm-hmm.
We're recording about 35-ish hours since the finale aired, roughly, something like that. It's all should be pretty fresh in our minds. How are we feeling? I'll start off with you, Kayla, because you were already rip-raring to go. As we exit season 2 of Severance, how are you feeling about Severance?
Well, I don't know if we'll see if it is a good idea for us to have this pod so soon after watching it. My just quick initial emotion is kind of pissed off.
Ooh.
That's how I left season 2 finale. Pissed off.
Okay, we'll dig into that because I'm interested if that's some like character decisions, if that's like plot decisions or what. But pissed off. Okay, Kayla's pissed off. Mike, how are you feeling exiting season 2?
I feel fine. I feel good. I thought this finale really kind of wrapped up a lot of stuff for me. And then kind of leaves the door open for season 3, of course. And I kind of feel like, man, maybe if season 3 takes another 4 years or something, maybe I don't have to watch that. I can be fine with where it ended.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It kind of it ends. It has like a graduate ending, kind of thing, which. Whatever. It's something that's happened before. It's kind of effective, for me at least. The finale kind of made me change how I felt about both Marks. There's a scene in there that really, the camcorder scene.
I liked the camcorder scene.
Was just like, oh man, this is something the show has been lacking. Especially since it kind of moves away from like a workplace, comedy in some spots. It becomes more just espionage drama
Yeah.
thriller
I
stuff.
feel like it really hits that they're two different people when he's like, God, he's such a child. And you're like, oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like they are two different people. They don't even know each other.
Oh yeah,
Weird.
the,
That
like,
I did really
that's
like
not how it
the
works. Tell me how it works.
right.
Yeah, Adam Scott was doing some good work there. I'll say
I did like that.
for my part, I think I left every episode of season 2 very confused. And some of that's on purpose, right? It's a puzzle box, mystery box kind of show. I left season 1, the last episode of season 1, the finale. I really dug that, and it really got me like, man, I want season 2. I want to see how this resolves. Holy shit. Like it was just action, kind of. This the last 20 minutes of this one was also action packed in a lot of the same ways, but still I feel like I left season 1, not that I had answers or anything else, but I was less concerned at like what the answers were going to be. I was just interested, like, all right, cool. Let's keep going and keep digging deeper. I leave season 2 kind of like, man, are they ever even going to answer any of this shit, or they're just going to keep showing me weird images and kind of leaving me hanging, or am I just missing something? I don't know. So I left it confused, I would say, overall.
I think at the end of the day, it is a upstairs downstairs story with a lot of weird trimmings, and I kind of view the show that way, and I like the weird stuff, and I keep it rolling because I watched enough of these kind of shows like to know like I'm just gonna appreciate the coolness, the sci-fi-ness of this thing right now, and just try to focus on where these characters are, because that's kind of what the meat and potatoes of the show this season is, just learning like these innies becoming people, really, like really, owning their lives and wanting to keep them, and I don't. I thought the season starts so kind of slow. I really wasn't kind of locked in until like episode 4 or 5, I think. And I don't know. Just I dug it. I dug at the end after seeing the whole package. I'm content.
The last, I think, going into the last like quarter, you were a little iffy, right? You're like going into the last couple episodes.
There's just some kind of duds in there. I thought the Cobell episode, which was 9 or 8.
It was like 8, I think. Yeah,
8.
yeah.
That one stunk. 9, I was not like I didn't kind of like the Burton Irving stuff. I thought that was kind of could have been something cool, and then they decided to just cut that off. I thought there could have been more with the Irving, and maybe there will be later on, but I wanted more for that now. And just kind of frustrated with the Dylan character at times, but then I thought the finale kind of gave the innie and outie a very poignant, cool scene. I don't know. I guess just the finale fixed a lot of the things that I was feeling, leading up to it. And they did. Hey, it was like an hour and a half. They did a lot of stuff. I don't know. I thought it was pretty dope.
I did like the length. I thought it needed enough time to wrap up a lot of plot points. Not that it wrapped them all up, but it needed time, and it used that time like really effectively, I thought.
I liked this episode, to be clear.
Yeah.
Question was, how did you like leave?
Yeah.
episode, the season, and I do not feel like they landed the plane.
Mm.
Well, I think they telegraph it a bit. Like,
what do you mean?
like that. Are you just kind of disappointed with the final thing? You know, like,
Yes.
okay.
And like lots that surround it because of it. Like, I don't know if we want to jump right to the ending right now, or if we want to hold
fine
off
with
the
it.
ending.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to talk about, Mark S. picking Helly, potentially Helly, there's some controversy on the internet on who that is, but we've got, that's a great scene, right?
I agree with that.
So the scene
I agree with that.
is that we've got Gemma on one side of a door, and then Helly on the other side of a hallway, and essentially Mark S., the Innie Mark S. is, or I guess he's only Mark S. when he's in Innie. Anyway, he's got to kind of choose his path, go out the door, leave with Gemma, and the Innie is probably just gone at that point, or run down that hallway and be with Helly and do something.
Figure out this any revolution that we're going
I guess so,
like,
that's a terrible idea.
choreography and merriment.
You just killed people in here.
Mammification or whatever. Gwendolyn Christie's
Mammalians nurturable. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. We're going to team up. We're going to beat up Mr. Milkshake.
And Helly R was cool in this episode. I thought she had I never even really thought of it like they gave me a piece of life, or gave us a piece of life, and thought I wouldn't fight for it. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that's the shit. She's doing shit for it, and then they're just gonna. She is not taking Mark S. She that's out of character, I think. I don't like it.
I mean, yeah, like Mark S. kind of.
What are they going to do?
Was not going to be cocked. He was. That's up to him.
I think it does open up the bigger question, and this is probably my biggest frustration with the show. In all, is like I don't quite understand the stakes in the sense that, like, okay, Lumen, they are a big corporation, maybe like the biggest corporation on the planet. They provide all sorts of different products.
I think Door Factory might be the biggest.
Yeah, well, Lumen's at least number 2. It's like a Amazon/Apple thing, right? Like, who's more powerful, right? Door Factory and Lumen, right? But so like Lumen's got all this power, all this technology, like et cetera, et cetera. So let's go down the, like, Mark S. and Helly run off into Revolution, right? Like, they've got Milchek trapped with C&M, and Dylan's joining the Revolution, and they're going to get mammalians nurturable and everything else. What's the end game there? Because they live underground in an office. Lumen. Control Lumen? Can Lumen not just
build that facility?
Okay.
And I don't know, figure out a way to extend
from their floor,
they can't severed technology somehow. I don't know.
Yeah,
they could walk into a door, just any room, and lose their fucking severedness. Like, that's what happens to Gemma. All of the rooms, all of the floors, like.
Seems like that's only her, though. Those specific rooms. I don't know. I mean, we don't know anything about other things. Right.
I'm sure she's not the only person that they're trying to do this on. It's just, is the key having a spouse? Like, oh shit, we have. Like, I feel like Lumen's doing this more to more people than just Mark and Gemma.
Well, that's another question. Maybe we'll put a pin in that one and see.
I don't know. There's 10 employees at this place. Like,
there's 10,
there's hella cars.
But the thing is, there's 10, and then there's 100 because like we didn't know that C&M existed, right? And then 50 band members just pop up. Like they can summon 50 band members at a whim. And we didn't
under control.
We don't know the numbers.
And mammalians nurturable were like, goats. And then there were like 20 goat people all of a sudden. It's like, you go down a hallway and there's 20 goat people. And then like Bert had a whole ass like wing.
Multiple lovers.
Well, he had a squad as well in season 1, right?
Mm-hmm,
they went to like another side of Lumen, and there were like 15 employees there or whatever else.
D&D or whatever they were.
Yeah.
The art.
Yeah.
M&D.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But so, can we say what the revelation was of what they're doing? What Mark and his team are doing.
So what we do know is they were working on Gemma. Well, Mark was. So I'm still unclear. That is a question that I still have. Is like when Mark, Irving, Dylan, and Helly were doing their, what is it called? MDR, macro data refinement. So they're doing their computer thing. They're pushing numbers around a screen and putting them in little boxes and whatnot. We know that Mark was working on 25 individual personalities, 25 innies of Gemma. Gemma had one outie, who's Gemma, and then 25 innies, who were all different people, Miss Casey and I guess other names probably or whatever else.
Each one of those boxes was a emotion for her, like malice, at least frolic. They were like her as like they basically like she was a bitch.
Well, I think the boxes were, so I think they were taking the 4 emotions, putting them
like 5 or 6 or something
in the boxes, and the boxes represented a unique innie. So you take somehow
the files were the innies, but the boxes were the frolic.
Oh, you're right. Gotcha.
Depression or they're all like very sad things.
Yeah. Malice, Frolic, Malice and Frolic are 2 of them, and then there's
there were more.
Sorrow,
and there was a. They tried to explain a lot in this episode,
right? It was like that was the big test: was can we put Gemma into this experiment where she's rebuilding, where she's put back into this traumatic memory.
Mm-hmm.
Can she do that without cracking?
Right. That was the final Cold Harbor thing, which
I mean, like her having to deal with Mark S every day, I feel like is pretty fucking traumatic.
That's a good that was my thing, is like I don't quite get.
How is that not a good enough test?
Yeah.
And vice versa. Mark, you're putting Mark with Gemma all the time.
And she's not cracking, as far as we could, right?
And he's not cracking either. And he's out in the wild. He's not even trapped in your little dungeon. He can go out and tell people.
That's the thing I haven't understood, because it's like, okay, Severance seems to work, right? Like it had, like it's been working for X amount of like years. We don't even know like how many years have. We know Mark is like 4 years or something like that. I think they've said she's been dead for like 4 years, and he's been doing Severance for X amount of time.
They're trying to expand it to any kind of situation. If you don't want to build the crib, you're severed. We can just make a person that just does a severed that does all of your housework. We can make a severed for you when you visit the dentist. We can make a severed for when you have to write all of your Christmas cards. Or if you hate the holidays, you could just have a severed. That I think it is just a giant test for expanding this to every thing.
So are we saying that like the chip that like Mark and Helly have in their head that they use every single day,
They can just turn it on.
No. What I'm asking is, like, that's a chip or something that is specific to, like, it's the office setting. They have like a code in there that says like, oh, this is the type of severance that only works in an office setting. Like if we took Mark S, instead of putting him in an office setting and put him on an airplane every day, he'd freak out. But because he's in an office, it's okay? Like, is that the idea?
Whatever technology that is in the elevators and the birthing center videos, they're trying to make that more of a, because they introduced the Glasgow initiative where they can remotely, just flip the switch.
Right.
I guess they want to give the Audis that power to just become any,
Turn off,
any number 19, this is mow the lawn, any, and that's all it does.
Could it
It's
be
a very
that
Rick and Morty episode.
It just feels like, though, like, do the doors not, because we've seen the doors, quote, door slash elevator slash, like, the technology,
rooms.
We've seen it, like, be able to work as an elevator, as a door, as, like, different things. So, like, if I choose to be severed, right, I choose to have a chip in my head, and can't you just install severance doors on planes so that those, like, if 100 people get on a plane, the 20 people who are severed, as soon as they get on that plane, they're good. They're a different person.
That's what they're introducing in this season,
But haven't they already done that? I guess, what are you testing then?
They're testing the limits of how many you can have.
Okay.
Because it seems like, okay, 20, like, we're trying to hit 25. Like, that's the limit that we know of. Maybe.
So it can't be the same person? Is that what we're saying? Is, like, there's a limiting factor of, like, if you go into an elevator that takes you into an office, that's in a specific, that's the office innie. And then I get back out of that elevator and then I go into an airplane. It's has to be a separate innie. It's not that same. It's not Mark S. Like, if Mark S goes through,
I think it's different.
They're all different.
Interesting. Okay. Because
Gemma was not becoming Miss Casey in every one of those. She was becoming someone else, like, completely different.
Yeah. But why, like, that's the, I guess that, like,
because when in the dentist one, the innie is like, God, this is that her whole existence, that one innie is getting root canals every time. Like, it's a very dystopian, wild concept that I really enjoyed. That was like the best episode. I thought was the Gemma.
It couldn't have anything to do with, like, creating an artificial intelligence or, like, a separate being at all, do you think? Like, inputting.
At the end of the day, it's controlling it's being able to, have mass control of everyone. Because who's not going to sign up for that? Like, you're going to have detractors, of course, and there already is people, we get a little taste of that, of people who hate, severeds and things like that. I think that's kind of, what Kier's whole bag is, like, just mind control, basically. At the end, is what this could become.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen, how they control most of the innies inside of Lumen. I don't know, that maybe that's like a season 4 or 5 thing, whatever they do with this show.
Yeah, maybe I just don't understand the benefit of having, like, if you're talking about control and everything else, like, isn't it easier to control one outie, one innie, as opposed to one outie and 25 innies? That seems just like...
I think you have to create the reason to bring this into your home.
Okay.
And then that's when they get you, kind of thing.
Sure. Now, I just mean from Lumen's perspective. Like, I get it from the human perspective, like from like someone who's afraid of dentist visits and any pain, I guess, like because that is like one of Lumen's things is like we take away pain, right? Like that's one of their like core concepts. So it's like anything that would cause a person pain, we are going to take that away from you. But I guess I don't get the idea of why isn't there a single pain personality? You've got your outie who never experiences pain because every painful situation they go into, there's a door and they zap and now they're innie. Why are you purposely creating different personalities? Or is that like a side effect? Like, do you have to create different personalities every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the doors are just, think of it like a representation, as like you're going to the dentist, so you just choose this door and you were at that door.
Uh-huh.
Last thing you remember was going into it, and you don't remember anything else. That's all you know. That's all you care about.
Right.
Doesn't matter anything else. Doesn't matter.
You know, yeah.
But why? Okay.
But your question is, why is it always different? Because it's just, imagine it's a straight line, and you just have to go into the door, and then you come out, and the line continues, and you go into the door. You don't get to, like, get back on the bus.
Yeah, I think it's like, okay, I'm afraid of flying, so I'm going to sign up for one innie. But then you're like, oh man, I really hate driving to work every day. Like, okay, I'm going to sign up for that innie, and you have to like keep.
So it's a subscription, like you're adding to your bundle. Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Now, see, I wasn't thinking corporately enough.
I think so.
Okay.
Come on, you're not an Egan.
You're
not here in you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You are an outie mark, okay? You would choose Gemma.
I gotcha. I choose both. I'd get a situation where you just, we already know there's an off-on switch, So.
Mark, but how you they seem to have difficulty creating the different innies because it seems like you have to have the love of an amazing like couple, like you have to trick people into creating these things at first.
Create the personalities.
Maybe once they crack
put them together.
Once they're just going to use Gemma's data and then that'll be all they need.
I guess it's just as a test case
equation.
So you need someone who I think Gemma was chosen. Like the reason the last test, the Cold Harbor test, is her taking apart a crib, which would cause outie Gemma intense trauma, right? Lumen ran the fertility clinic that Gemma went to. So I think that's probably the moment that they were like, okay, this is someone who's having trouble with fertility. That's a thing we are going to sever people. Yeah. So that's the perfect test case. We're just going to set up some sort of reason to kidnap this person. I don't.
Yes, because they're going to because Drummond is like, this is Cold Harbor is the biggest day in human history.
Yeah,
I mean that's not a lie. If you're able to finish your testing for the thing that to introduce this globally now, and I bought into the whole what they were doing.
Do we assume then that the more personalities you create, the less effective it is in some way. Is that the assumption
they were
there?
testing
Probably
that.
an issue they had to work through.
Can one human handle, having 25 different
personalities,
subconsciouses?
Yeah.
And she passed.
Okay. Yeah. Because there's no indication that I caught on to that, like, there's been failures before, or she failed, or like, one day
it's
when
not
she
the
was
first sacrifice they've made for
Right.
goats.
right.
Going to, like, how many more of these do I have to do? Which was, she's not in the show a lot, but she did a lot with what they gave her, and hats off to her. She was great in this episode.
I was happy to finally see violence in Severance, because that has
it's
been
a lot
something.
of passive, steely-eyed bullshit. And it was, yes, I felt the same way. I was like, finally, there is
the elevator switch from Marks with Drummond was good. It was
a lot of wackiness in this episode, which was great.
That's the Ben Stiller of it all, I imagine. Right?
Yeah. I don't think he can help himself.
And Adam Scott. I'll give Adam Scott, he's a wacky dude too. Give him credit.
That's why they work together.
Yeah.
And I thought both Marks were just sleeping through this whole thing. I felt like, I thought what Helly and Irv and Milchek, MVP of the season for me.
Oh man,
love Milchek. God,
I was still happy.
Anytime he was on screen. Go ahead, Kayla. Sorry.
I was still happy when he came out, but I thought he was coming out earlier, like when the wax figure came on, like when the Bulls thing came on, and I was like, Mr. Milchek, and it wasn't him, it was the wax figure, but then it was Mr. Milchek, and I still enjoyed it.
Oh, him rushing. It's like him just dealing with this, all the bullshit that goes with this promotion that he's got. He's become floor manager, took Patricia Arquette, Miss Cobell's spot. And they set up, they almost want you to think he's going to turn against Lumen. And I still think that's in play. Because he is like having these moments, like especially with the Kier statue, he's the butt of all the jokes, and he's like, "Motherfucker, man,
yeah,
the things I do
now.
for you," and all of the stuff, the review, the job review, God, everything with Milchek is the best part of the show. In season 1, the best part for me was the break room scene and him just, he's like Coleman Domingo. I think the actor's name is
Trammell Tillman.
Trammell Tillman. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people on Blue Sky and X, give this guy an Emmy. And yeah, I agree. He does the Coleman Domingo thing of just being a teddy bear, like guy, great guy, to just being the most sinister motherfucker, and don't fuck with me right now. And I love it. I love that stuff. I would love to see him with Tarantino or something. If Tarantino ever makes a movie again.
Well, he'd be in the play,
Yeah. Let's do that first.
We were talking about the whole Gary Glitter, right? That's a Gary Glitter song that was gonna play, right? The Bulls thing, isn't that what?
Oh no, that's not Gary. That's damn it.
Whatever the Bulls thing is.
It's a guy's name, Experience. It's the Alan Parsons Project, I believe.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, you mean from Austin Powers 2? Yeah, the Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Milchek, I was a little frustrated with, because I 100% agree that he was great I mean, he's been great since season 1, like you said. But I really thought, okay, he's going to help them in some way. Like, he's going to be the hero. He's going to step in and finally realize, like,
yes, that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
Like, fuck Lumen.
Thank you.
You know, but still at the end, like,
company man.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little disappointed in that. I was hoping for something.
Is that part of, like, do they? Because he tries to reach out to the other kind of black character. I forget her name.
Miss Natalie, right?
Miss Natalie.
Yeah.
And he's like, kind of like, hey, did you said you got these paintings that are just kind of like.
And she's like,
really like.
Yeah.
Like,
one of them's like him in a blackface. Like, it's like here in blackface. Yeah.
And they full-heartedly like, hey, these are like limited edition gear paintings, man. Like, these are one of a kinds now, and we have given these to you, even though they are quite offensive to him. You can even tell when he's like, oh, thank you. These are wonderful. And he tries to reach out to her, and she just passes it off. Like, he wants to know how she felt.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to give him a humanity, that no one else in this company has. And I still think at some point there's going to be, because we get Patricia Arquette kind of joining, the good guy's side at this point, at least we think. But even without him having, I wasn't frustrated by it. I was like, okay, whatever. We get more of. So what is Milchick gonna be the muscle now? Is he gonna take Drummond's spot since he's fucking dead? That is fuck.
Yeah.
Which I really like that guy. I don't know the actor's name, but he's just like, he's basically our president, the highest person that we're actually we hear from the board or something. We get their messages through third party. He's like, so far he's like the top colonel, like, of this that we've seen, and he's fallen.
Yeah. He seems to be above Helena, even. Like, he seems to be like telling her what to do, or like at least not intimidated of her in any way.
Well, he knows that Daddy don't like her. Right.
He's got a cool frolic tattoo.
Yes, like on his hand, right? I know it's like, okay, so what? That's his favorite. He's a big fan of the frolic box.
I think maybe it's the one thing he doesn't have, actually. Like, out of the different things, he has no frolic.
No, maybe that's the one that he turns off on. Maybe that's his severed thing.
Oh, he's in the meadow.
Yeah, he's got a very interesting name, because I think he's like a
he's Icelandic or something.
Yeah, he is. And he's like a strong man or something, so his name's like Bjorn Bjorgifson or something,
Armo Mitt.
Yeah. Poland. Yeah, it's quite a name.
Mariusz Pujanowski.
But Drummond's gone. So yeah, maybe. I mean, Milchick doesn't know that, I think, at that point. So
we didn't see the conversation of him accepting floor manager.
Right.
1 and 2.
Right.
So what the fuck is gonna happen? I just don't. What the fuck? What are they gonna do from here? Where they are? I just don't.
So they kind of tell us, okay, so children, this is like, Milchick's probably been in this since he was a kid, I'm guessing. Because like Miss Huang, like, you go through steps, you go through the sweat
Cobell was a child soldier, kind of, from,
like,
or whatever.
I want to know more of that, of like, okay, so Miss Huang got put into you get dealt into certain roles, but like, okay, Cobell then weaved back into management. she worked at a factory, I guess,
But she created the Severance
right. She was a
ability.
brilliant scientist, I
Yeah.
guess, and they kind of yada that a little bit. So I don't, yeah, like because the innies are like, why are you a kid? Like every time Miss Wong is introduced to someone, it was very funny. Like, why are you a child? You're our boss. What?
It kind of seems like that was just a gag for like, because so much of Severance is kind of like an allegory for modern life, right? Modern office life and whatnot. And I think a lot of people who are, say, 50 plus, like now have to deal with the fact that like their boss might be 20 or something, you know, right out of college, you know. And I think it's playing on that, like, oh my god, my boss is a kid, you know, that kind of thing.
But she is dreading whatever the next step is for her.
Yeah, they said they're just sending her to like Reykjavik or something, like somewhere like wild.
Like, yeah. Back to where Mr. Drummond's from.
We get a kind of glimpse of how rigorous and structured this whole religion thing, this whole thing, like if you are chosen to be like on the inner circle of this thing, they want to make sure that you are completely broken and rebuilt. It seems in Kier's, image or whatever. Just
so I guess
the dark sinisterness of Lumen is the stuff I really liked. Like, just wow, how far are they going to take this thing? Like, the inhumaneness of it all with the 25 fucking, the Rick and Morty stuff is what I really like.
Yeah. One of the major kind of questions I've had for, I guess going back to season 1, but definitely it season 2 has like really fucked with me. The timeline, like this obviously isn't our Earth or our like
does not seem modern. I have not seen. Like, are there are smartphones?
Someone uses, like, I think Helena uses a smartphone at one point.
So,
like when she's confronting Cobell, I feel like she gets on a phone and like has a conversation at some point.
It seems like we're communist now. It seems like everything is kind of like door factory, food market. Like everything is just cut and dry. Everyone drives the same looking cars. Besides Milchek, he's got a sweet motorcycle. Benefits of Lumen.
I like Cobell's White Rabbit.
Circle.
It's a fun play thing, But also, like the modern, like Egan's house and the Lumen building and stuff. Like when they show that,
even Mark's house is pretty modern inside.
Yeah. So
I guess all the houses just look very cookie cutter, like everything. Maybe not Devin's house. They have some kind of like, but they introduce
artists.
Her husband is only in like one scene in this season. The author, the guy that's from Orange is the New Black,
Rickon,
and yes, Rickon. I think he is a plant. I think he is much more involved in Lumen than Devin or Mark. Suspect, because his books are like huge and within the innie like community, which is just, that's not a coincidence. I don't. It
doesn't seem like you can get anything done in that world without Lumen having like their hands in it, right? Like in a sense, yeah. But like, so the weirdest thing for me is like how long. So Cobell is. I mean, how old is Patricia Arquette? Like pushing 60, maybe something like 55, something like that. So she was a child and worked in an ether factory, which is not not a thing that has existed for 100 years in our timeline.
Yeah, like we're still operating on whale oil in this
right?
And shit like that.
So there was in let's say 50 years, our somehow we went from children in ether factories to the ability to create 25 unique personalities with like a computer chip, right? And is that like what we're to believe? Like the time when she was a kid, it was like satchel times, as Dan Reichert would call it. Like it's old school.
I think it was just kind of a weird town that was run as a like
I
this
think
like
it was also
northern
like
seaboard or
held under Lumen's thumb. I think a lot of this is like
that's where it started. Like it destroyed this town, like some kind of weird industrial mining town, and expand like, oh, some of these kids are actually smart, and now they're developing technology. I think it's all just kind of coincidence, and this mythology of Kier has just been built and built and built on time, on top of the bodies of the children in these fucking ether factories. Like,
so just like technology evolved in different ways, is that what we're saying? Like some technology is way more advanced in this world than anything we have currently, but then some technology is like significantly less than what we had 50 years ago. That's the idea,
I guess. It's all like Fallout stuff, like
yeah, they have severed technology, but
okay.
Fallout was set in the 50s, but the tech was like radioactive, atatomic, all this shit we were using. If we had gone a different direction, I guess maybe they'll talk more about that. Maybe I don't know.
Okay.
Eisenhower signed a bill that I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that matches up at all.
It could, yeah. I mean, who knows? I would like to know more about the world, the like state, because they did touch on. It seemed like they were going in that direction in like season 1, where they're like, yeah, there's anti-severance organizations. It's like a hot button political thing, and like, okay, that's setting some stakes of like, this is like a modern world where TVs exist and the media kind of exists in the same way that it does in our world, and okay, cool. But then there's also this cool futuristic technology. Sure, I can buy it. But 50 years ago, we were also still using ether as like a primary thing. Okay, that's a little different. That's weird.
I don't know how. It seems like they're going to focus more on the down, the underground, like than what's going on in the greater worlds. At least that's where the finale, I think, is pointing towards.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much more of that we're going to get. I love when we get the little weird stuff, outside of the place that's supposed to be weird. Like everything's weird, and I dig it.
Yeah. It's so okay. One other, I guess this is just Eric Ask Questions day.
Sure.
Because I've got them all. So we know what Mark was doing. It seems as though Mark was very important. He needed to finish Cold Harbor. He was kind of important in all this. Why Helly, Irv, and Dylan? Why do they even exist? What were they doing?
Helly is Helly.
Helena was being a plant, a spy.
She's a mole, yeah.
Do we think at large portions of both seasons,
I thought that was like
a
punishment or something? That then they had to like flip it and like, oh well, now we can use you as a spy.
Okay,
because
she never used it in season 1, probably.
Oh, I don't think she ever like until they know that the innies are up to something, which doesn't happen until the end of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they're okay. We're going to send you back, but we're not. We're going to reverse the process or whatever. Turn off the elevator,
Right.
sensor. And yeah, I think Helly as a creation is just a test to see if she is capable of running this, because the old man is getting. I mean, he's looking up. Mr. Egan is not long for this world, and he is desperate to find an heir with that. That he sees Kier in. He has sired many many children. He says.
Is that the worst name, Jame? Not
Jame.
James, but Jame.
Right.
Which I know of two James. You've got Jaime Egan, the creepy old man who sired many children, and you've got James Gum from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Those are the
not
two
a,
James.
Not a good track record for James. I think it's like to me, Kier is just like, hey, let's take the Bible and flip a couple names around.
Sure. That's never been done before. That's weird.
Yeah. So it's very weird. The whole Eganism Kier thing is just odd. I don't know how they implanted. Yeah, how did Lumen go from small thing to? I guess Miss Cobell is just she created the thing that let them take foothold. Like Severance would be the thing that brought them to be the biggest corporation, we think, in that world or whatever. And then they thank her by giving her middle management. It's like, I don't know.
I guess that's just their hubris of we own her. Like she is in this cult. We own everyone in this cult. We can do whatever we want with these people. They should be fucking happy to be middle management.
And that's what it's just hubris, really. This whole thing just becomes, man, because when you think they just thought Drummond could control what happens if one of these people wants to take the pneumatic, cattle killing machine and use it on him, and they do.
I love that it's just a little bullet vending machine. He just pushes his finger down, and a bullet comes out. It's so good.
It's wonderful. Yeah,
greatest production design in a show ever, maybe. Right? What show looks better than Severance?
I think the Lumen stuff is great. I don't really like when it's just, it's Fargo.
Sure.
It's just snowy kind of blah. But
not blown away.
You're not blown away? Inside the office and the lights and
I agree that it looks good, but I would not go as far as saying it's the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
I like the lynchness, I feel like Remedy could have, created a Lumen space in Control or something. Just to the vending machines, to the posters, to Keanu Reeves' fucking motivational videos. I kind of agree with it. It is very just. But I also see the inspiration. The white hallways is very 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's very Stanley Kubrick inspired, and I really like the retro, thing, because even some of the rooms Gemma has to go in seems like it's from a different time. Her hairstyles, just the furniture, the wood paneling of the basements, around Christmas time and things. This show could take place currently. They could say it takes place 100 years ago. I don't know, to go back to that kind of thing. But yes, they nail the design and what what they're trying to go for. They figured it out for sure.
I had mentioned earlier, this was one of the only violent episodes of Severance. And you mentioned Drummond is like supposed to just control the whole severed floor basically, and it is a big fucking guy. He like beats the shit out of Gwendolyn Christie and Adam Scott.
Yeah.
And
hell yeah, he did, man.
but I
kind of reverse like Viper Mountain kind of scene there towards the end with that fucking like Adam Scott looks like his head is going to pop.
Yeah.
And very, very brutal stuff. And wow.
There's a great like when he socks like Gwendolyn Christie in the face and she like spits blood on the hallway.
Oh yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Like so that's one thing I've really wondered or I feel has been lacking is like basically I think like the first episode Helly kind of gets like she throws like the monitor or whatever at Mark or the little like sound speaker thing. But other than that, like it is all like if they want a revolution, if they want to get out or they like if they feel like there's no guns, there's no knives, no one has any sort of like even Mr. Milchick, like I would have trouble with Mr. Milchick. That dude looks like he'll mess you up. But like he can't take on three grown men and a woman.
Taking that vending machine was impressive.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna take that thing down.
Like fuck, man. And then he takes like a fucking trombone to the fucking grill and just gets up and fucking keeps going, man. Like, man.
I've just like
the will of cure,
multiple
multiple
times I've just felt like why aren't we taking Milchick hostage or like anything causing damage to this shit? Why do they go about their day to day?
Because I'm guessing their first day of work is like being a baby, like being like like you are able to mold this thing exactly. Okay, sit here. Because you see when Gemma this is a thing that is it's one of those when you start thinking about Severed becoming a bigger thing, because you're always going to have a handler to like explain, like, okay, come over here now, come to the lawnmower, like you're gonna push this. You're gonna push this lawnmower. Right. That's something that I need to see how they figure that out. Because Gemma, every door she goes into, that creepy doctor guy, Dr. Harbor, I think, or Mauer,
yeah.
Dr. Mauer.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Cold Harbor is the the final door.
Dr. Cold Mauer. Yeah.
Yes. Cold Case Mauer. He's always there, guiding her through every action. So
right. That's a key point there. Yeah.
So is that they're going to have to do this test phase 100 more times, like 100 more couples they're going to have to ruin? I don't know what their timeline is for all this. They make it seem like this is it. This busts the door. We're going live with this tomorrow. So. I don't know. The show loves to give you little breadcrumbs and then doesn't. It yada yadas a lot of stuff, which I just kind of learned to keep. Look at the other cool thing over there. That's cool too.
So often, like when I watch a movie, when I watch a show that is supposed to be a mystery, I do let it just wash over me, and whatever twist happens, I just like hell yeah. I'm not trying to puzzle
you get
it
impatient.
out.
You don't want to get left. You really didn't like Leftovers.
I did not. Yeah.
Because you want the puzzle to be solved.
I do.
You don't want the puzzle to be ourselves. You don't want it to just be. You want there to be, what's behind the door. You want to open.
What's in the box?
What's in the box, man? What's in the box?
And I'm evolved. I can just appreciate the humanity of it more so than the puzzle. And I think that I wasn't really feeling the humanity of the show until this season. I really enjoyed the John Turturro Irving stuff early on when they're just banding. The innies get a lot of like they get some pull after what they kind of know Lumen has to show some of their cards a little bit. That Mark is very important, and he can kind of they give them leeway, they give them hall passes and they let them, have conjugal visits with their outie spouses and things. And I really kind of really dug the crew kind of uh, coming together. And that scene when Totoro like uncovers that Helena has been a spy down there with them the whole time is so good. It's up there for like scene of the season. Um, his goodbye to Dylan and just forgiving, like it's okay, man. I don't care. I love you, kind of thing.
Right. I knew.
And just
it's okay.
man, Totoro looking at Milchek and those two like knowing, you got me, but then I get you in the end, kind of thing. Like walk into the forest now, and we're just gonna flip the switch on you, you fucking you useless thing. Like it really the show then really boils down what all of these innies are. And they're just, cogs on a wheel, that's all, spokes on a wheel. Sorry. And change it with another one. If one breaks, whatever, And I really liked what they did with creating a plight for the innies, really. Like, I think they did that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because a part of me wants to be like, just die, man. Just kill yourself. I don't get it. You're being mean. They got lives.
You think
Save
the innies
Gemma.
should just give it up? Yeah.
Yeah. A part of me.
Well, see what
But
I like
get
is
it. I like when Heliar, said her line.
I like the compromise that Mark S, the Innie Mark, made. He's like, because he has this, he has that whole, when he's finishing Cold Harbor, and you think that Ellie has convinced him to just go through with it, and maybe this reintegration thing is real and it will work, and maybe it will be like we exist inside of them. But Mark is like, nah, I'm gonna save Gemma, I'm gonna save Miss Casey, but I'm gonna hold on to this for a little longer and see what I can do down here. If you want to keep the show going, what else do you do? Like, I don't know. Like I thought that was the only kind of way to keep this thing going. Because okay, Mark gets out, exposes Lumen, and it is like they say throughout the many times characters say, "Oh, it's all over." It's basically them saying the show is over if
But
Lumen gets
that.
exposed.
I wouldn't expose him either.
So I thought it was cool. I like, yeah. And then them running the frolic, them being so excited at the beginning, and them just seeing their faces going like, oh shit. Like now what? We took these lives. What do we do with them now? Interesting to see how that works if they try to figure out a way to expand, the reach of it, or if they figure out how to trick the elevator to I don't know how to get out as an innie. I don't know how that's gonna work. But oh well. Seems like they're setting up here like or Egan trying to convince Helly to become the normal version, like to try to just get her to be take over Helen, like just be the normal one and get rid of Helena. It seems he's he's grooming her at the end. He says, "I see Kier in you." So will she turn on Mark and join the dark side? I think there's a lot of like cool little strings that they left dangling to lead up to season 3. Is my point. Man, I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
How about you, Kayla? Like, any lingering questions?
I just feel like if I did leave, I would have come up with okay, I'm not going to expose Lumen, but I am going to get Gemma and Miss Casey and myself out, and then we can continue to figure out what to do about this innie outie situation. Like, at the very least, I need to get Gemma out. I killed some people, so I can't fucking stay here. Like,
I did not believe the Mark Scout, Audi Marks. Like, no one knows what's going on with, like, once that is shut down, those innies are gone. The reintegration like doesn't. Like,
I just don't know.
I didn't buy it.
True, but
that's why I thought that camcorder scene was so like perfect. Of just like, we don't know what's gonna happen, man. I really just need you to do. It was really just, hey, man, sacrifice yourself for my wife, please. He was really just at the end of the day, like, give up everything that you have gotten, like within the last 2 years to my 40 years or whatever. Like, it was really just trying to weigh that. It's a
bitch.
the trolley situation of, do you turn to kill 7 people or stop the train and kill, however many people, kind of thing. And
it also, like,
I like
you
that.
are me. This is your wife.
If I put
but
two,
it ain't. It's not.
But it is. But in reality, literally, it is.
I guess we don't know how the legal system works in this ether, soaked universe.
Yeah. I bet you 15 vats of whale oil.
To me, it makes for good drama. I love that scene, the hallway and the door and everything else, but it does. I am a little bit on Mark Scout's side of, like, this is the equivalent of, okay, you go to work one day and there's like a hot coworker and you start a fling with them or whatever else, because, like, for the 8 hours you're at work, you're like into them, but then you go home and the rest of reality, like the rest of, like, the other not 40 hours, you take 40 hours of your week, but then the rest of your week is however many hours or whatever else. What matters more, like, I find it hard to, like,
I think Heliar wanted to sacrifice herself. I think she was down for the cause. I think this is an Ellie situation, and, like, if it stops there when I compare Ellie and The Last of Us, because he didn't take her away, but Helena did, or whatever. Because when you bring up the Glasgow effect, I think, okay, so we were talking about, like, doors and levers and switches and elevators. They're out in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's just a switch. So they could have just switched her at any point. They could have just clicked. Milchek can say, turn on the Glasgow effect. And now it's Helena.
But he doesn't have a radio anymore.
True.
None.
True. You're right.
There's only 5 radios.
But he got out. But he's out right now. He got out.
Yeah, but they kind of set up, like, the revolution. Like, we convinced choreography and merriment to team up with us. We are going to get the goats. We're going to, we're going to find all the weirdos next season, and we're going to take on Lumen. I just don't think you can, like, if Mark S goes through that door what kind of show do you have after
See,
that?
I feel the total opposite. I feel like you
well,
can't
you have a
show if you
finale.
stay
You have
in.
a series finale. If
You have a
Mark does
series
that,
finale.
right? Like, yeah, that's the end of Severance if he leaves, right? I mean, I guess you could have a season
I'm
where they're
not-
I
taking
don't think
down
so.
other Lumen, like trying to
I
convince the
don't want
world.
Mark Scout anymore. Honestly, I
Ooh,
think he's the
okay.
worst character in this show.
Yeah.
It's just him looking tired, and oh god, especially this season, and he's always blinking and passing out, and fucking just that whole kind
I
of
think he's
story
the
with.
whole show, kind of.
Well, Mark
But
S
he's not.
is, right?
This season proves that he's not. I thought the whole show was Milchick and Helly and
All the
Dylan and
supporting.
Irv.
Yeah, definitely.
And then this finale kind of gave Mark. Then this was the Mark episode. It took
Mhm.
all season, but it finally
Mhm.
happened.
You're right.
Mm.
Which I guess didn't work out. I don't. Did and didn't.
I mean,
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we'll see.
to me,
I have mixed
to me, like,
feelings.
okay, he goes out there. I'm not interested in that. I want to be within Lumen. I don't
But
want to
what
be
about
outside of it.
Miss Cobell and Devin? Like they're and
They're gonna.
Rickon,
I
like
hope they.
something's
I
happening
hope
out
they're
there.
outside waiting with a car for fucking
Me
Gemma. I
too.
hope she's. I hope she can just finally get the strength to go up those
I
stairs
would have
before she
ran.
gets kidnapped again.
Right.
I don't know. Like,
Fuck Mark. I would have left.
That's the concerning thing of like I hope season 3 doesn't start with her just getting grabbed or something, because they did that in season 2. Like the beginnings of season 2 was just let's reset everything to exactly where it was at the like middle of season 1. You know, like
yeah,
we have all these big revelations at the end of season 1. The group is broken up. They're probably going to be in trouble. And then by like episode 3, it's like, yep, group's back together. And it's kind of episode 5 of season 1 again, you know? So there's a bad version of it where that happens and season 3 starts with like nothing like coming of it.
yeah. I don't know if it's going to be like that season of Oz where the prison riot happens, and it's just like a lot of we're trapped on this side, you're trapped on the other side, like negotiations.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I do want more opportunities to have scenes like we had with the camcorder. Like I imagine like a camcorder being dropped down an elevator, you know, like in and out or something like that. That'd be fun.
Like, okay, they get Gemma to the police station to say like, hey, I'm alive, I've been trapped down here. How far does Lumen control, all of that aspect of it? I don't know.
Probably somewhat, because they had to have gotten a body to show Mark Scout and the coroner to give the body to Lumen, which wasn't actually dead. Maybe wasn't even in a crash at all.
Man, I'm watching 3 shows like simultaneously. I'm watching Paradise, this, Severance, which is now over, and Silo. And they're all kind of very similar.
Oh, wow.
with conspiracies and underground things. They're all the same.
Yeah. I could not watch Silo and Severance at the same time. Because those, I had to get some weeks between them. Yeah. Wow. Good taste, though. Good taste on your part.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a little game. Unless there's anything else, it's not really a game. It's something. I got something.
Ooh.
Unless there's anything else you guys want to hit on Severance season 2, the finale, anything.
Let's see what you got.
All right. It still has to do with Severance. So it's my rapid fire questions that I'm gonna have you guys answer for me. Because I've already asked a ton, and now I have rapid fire questions. Question 1: does Dylan do doors?
No.
Kayla?
No.
I think that's his happy ending. I think he takes over the door store.
What a great scene with the job interview at the doesn't it outside of the door, doesn't it just say like doors or door factory?
Yeah, it says like
it's
door
just
factory or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, that guy who is just like a doppelganger of Dylan.
Extraterrestrials there, man.
Okay, I'm glad it's not just me.
My phone connected to my car. I think Selena must have.
It was freaky. It was some freaky shit happening. It was some Severance ass. You were in the elevator, I think.
Yeah.
The door store,
Yeah, I don't know what I was saying there, but anyway, the door store scene was really good. I don't know.
Oh, it was. I had to look up the to make sure that it wasn't just Dylan in two different get-ups. It was a separate actor, so I had to look that up. Next question. Was that Helly or Helena in that final scene?
I think it's Helena. Oh, why?
Because I think it's out of character for her to come and what, Mark S. I think she wanted to die for the cause. I think we don't see what happened with her and Mr. Milchick and Dylan and the band. I think she just gets to walk away like without a hair out of place.
Right? She dips.
Maybe. Yeah. But if it is as easy as flipping a switch, you never know, They
can just flip a switch.
To me, like, it doesn't even matter because they both kind of seem like they're leaning towards hating this whole thing. Like,
True.
Helena really likes Mark, and Helly really likes Mark. So, they give you that one scene of her watching that footage of them kissing, and she just keeps rewinding it and watching because I guess she's never had a boyfriend. Probably, I don't know. She seems to have just had a tough life being an Egan. Very Succession.
Her dad seems fine. I don't know.
No. He wants her to eat raw eggs at one point. I want you to die.
I hate the way he said it, though. He says, "I wish you had taken it raw." Is the way he says it.
Yeah,
not a thing you should ever say to probably anyone, especially not your daughter.
He reminds me of like the guy from Barbarian, the dude that can. So he just has that ick on him, man. Like, oof.
Ick.
Gosh.
Sticky icky. Speaking of sticky Ricky, is Rickon a plant?
I think so.
You mean by him being planted in there, right?
Yeah, is he Illuminite in some way? Is he a mole?
Yeah.
Or he is just part of that idiocracy, dumb society. Like, I don't know. It just seems like there's a whole part of the outside world that has already been like lobotomized, and just I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. How many seasons do you want, and how many seasons do we get?
I want 3. Kayla just wanted it to be over.
I did. Man. I did only want 2.
I respect it.
I know I said earlier I would have been fine with it ending here, but I want to see what they got. I think I would want 3, one last one, but I think we're gonna get like 5.
You're probably right.
I don't want if I have to have the fewer the better.
We're getting
Apple
a season 5 of
$1 billion per year on this endeavor, like owning Apple TV Plus. So I don't know.
We're getting a season 5 of Lasso, right, Kayla? Will this be 5? I think.
I don't remember what season.
I think it will
be 5. I thought that show was done.
It was.
Yeah.
And they decided to bring it back. Yeah, they're shooting a 5th season. So
hey, that's 2 more seasons than fucking Netflix will give you.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of their pillars right now. It is Lasso and it is Severance. Those are the 2 kind of sellers of Apple. So, yeah. So maybe 5 is right. We'll see. Does Mark get a happy ending? How about Gemma, sorry, and how about Helly/Helena?
No happy endings.
I kind of agree with Kayla. I don't know. I think this was the happy ending. I think this was like the peak of happiness for all of the characters. Like, I don't know, Gemma just being able to be free, and we'll see what happens with Mark if he ever makes it out of Lumen. Like, I don't know, because it seems like okay, our two pieces of security are Milchick and Drummond, because Drummond just fights like a bear and he's the strongest man, and that he can handle this whole facility. That seems to be their hubris there. He's dead, and yeah, like I don't know if Lumen has a plan in place for a riot, a revolt. Like I don't know. I think it will be very possible for Mark to be able to just take over that fucking thing down there, I guess.
Really?
Oh, there, like you said, there's not like a riot squad down there or any. I don't know. You just fucking rally the troops.
C&M Music Factory was the riot squad, and I think they've given up. Yeah. That's what I'm calling them from now on, C&M Music Factory.
Make you sweat, Milchick.
Good segue. Does Milchick become a hero?
I hope he becomes his own hero.
So, like, he just kind of, Miles Morales, I'm gonna do my own thing kind of moment.
Miles Milchick,
Yeah,
robot Kayla.
Yeah, you got a little robot in you, baby. Did your phone connect to Mike's car or whatever?
No.
Am I robot too, Mike?
Kayla's been severed. Oh no, she's been sent to Reykjavik.
Is this Kayla F or Kayla D?
But to go to more into that Milchick question, I kind of hope he doesn't. I hope he kind of stays with that. I think his faith is kind of like his superpower in the show, like his willingness to just kind of keep gritting his teeth and go through with this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if season 3 is Milchick being like, trying to, negotiate something with with Mark and Helly and shit, and 5,000 marching bands, behind them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he can become if the innies choose to just continue to live on the severed floor or whatever, and that's what Milchick is best at, running things, being the floor manager. Well, that's Miles Milchick there.
Well, I think he's going to become, like I said, I think he will be Drummond, whatever Drummond's title was,
Master of Frolic.
Yeah, ass kicker extraordinaire. I don't know. Too many big words for Milchick. Too many big words.
That was the performance review was was good. That was,
and just another way of man, you got to be perfect. Like, you put the paperclip backwards. That is bringing embarrassment and shame to Kier's name. Like, if I put the paperclip the wrong way, like top-notch dystopian weirdo stuff from Drummond and Milchick and Miss Huang.
The myth building around. That's why I liked the Cobell episode, because it did just
added more to that.
It added more to the mythology, which is like one of the aspects that I've really, really dug. All right, last couple questions here. Do we get Irving back in season 3 or subsequent seasons?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see him.
Because they were kind of trying to introduce some kind of side plot that he was a mole in this whole thing, but then kind of swept that under the rug. I don't know. I don't know. I hope we see Irv again. Irv was, if Milchick's my favorite, he's 1A. Irv was 1B for me.
Totoro's so good, just in kind of
Yeah.
anything. I love Totoro.
His like retirement party thing was such a good bit. Yeah.
All right. Last question here. Is the end game just a Lumen personality bundle that you can pay for? 5 is tier 1, 10's tier 2. The kind of bundle package, or does Lumen have any even more dark plans like cloning or putting personalities into younger bodies, Get Out style? Like, what do we got?
Well, the show was kind of leaning like, oh, is it going to be clones? What are these goats for? Are they cloning the goats? Clone, goat,
Yeah.
But it just turns out that they're just a wacky religion, man. And they believe in sacrificing things and goats leading spirits to cure and shit like that. They're just fucking weird. And they're stupid.
And they want to sell you a personality bundle.
To take over the world, yes. I do. I think that.
Okay.
What do you think, Kayla?
Oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I froze
yeah.
again,
Yes.
sorry.
No, you're great.
Do I get a personality bundle as a subscription is the question?
No, is that Lumen's end game is just like, we want to sell you the ability to have 25 any personalities with like a darker undertone of, that gives them control over the world? Or is there something else? Are they doing like Get Out style implanting, old white man's personality in a young
I think
person's
there's
body?
more. I think that it's that, but I think there's more.
I think it's just we want to install the word of cure into every household that we can, basically, and be able to give, subliminally, have some kind of, gospel that is given to these innies or something to control them. And because like I was saying, there's got to be some way. There can't be a handler there's got to be something inside that tells, like, I don't know, that tells you what to do, or what, here wants you to shovel the dirt. Here wants you, to do this. I think it's season 4, season 5 of this show is that kind of stuff.
Okay. Religious indoctrination. Yeah. Is that what it is? Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. Last question, and probably the most important one, I would say. If you put James Gumb and James Egan in a room, does that make them James?
The two James. James Square.
Is it two James? Two James, like the rapper? Is that how that?
Space James.
Impossible question to answer. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's maybe that'll be Severance season 6 is James Gumb versus James Egan.
They may go to the same hairstylist though.
They do. They do.
They have the same kind of thing going on there.
There's no chance that James Egan has not looked in a mirror at one point and said, "I'd fuck me."
Yeah. Right? I see Kieran me.
Yeah. Love it.
Do you see Kieran me?
Interesting to see where that'll go. It's gotta mean something.
Old James. Oh, God. All right. I knew we'd get there in our Severance.
We see Miss Kwong again.
Oh, that's a good one. See, I hope so. I thought she was really charming. I wanted to see where that character was going.
I don't know.
Her little battle with Milchick in that fucking closet. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
They made her break her fucking little bubble thing. Oh, what?
Gear ring toss.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Tough.
Sad stuff.
Pour one out for Miss Wong. And pour one out for episode 189 of the Machine of Nonsense. We talked all about Severance, everything. I think we covered it. No further seasons needed because we have decoded everything that Ben Stiller could throw at us. No, I mean, I hope we get season 3 a lot faster than we got season 2. That's my one hope.
Yeah.
Is that like that delay was rough. It was very tough. No amount of recap videos on YouTube worked. All right. If you want to talk Severance, hit us up. We're at the Machine of Nonsense everywhere on social media. You can also send us an email, machineofnonsense@gmail.com. Here's to Severance Season 3 and episode 189 of the Machine of Nonsense. We're getting out of here, and we're saying...
Down with Kier.
I see Kier in me.
Down with the Kierness. Come on, now get down. I see what you mean. Yeah, let's get down with Kier. Yeah.